You and me, everything that we've been through has made us strong. You won't believe we've had our gray, but somewhere there's a light inside of us. It shows the way. Not looking for no heaven or gold, 'cause I got you. I got you. Don't wanna show us off, but you're my all. All that I need. Trying to sugarcoat, but I'm flying so high. I don't even know if I'm coming down. You rock my boat when you hold me so tight. The world just disappears in front of my eyes. I'm telling you why. This ain't no madness. The smoke in the mirrors, our memories, now the sun has come down. Like a river rising way up above. This ain't no sugarcoat. I'll stay in bed. I still got the feeling that you're next to me, stuck in my head. When lights go off, you're everything that I could ever want. Your touch so soft. Not looking for no heaven or gold, 'cause I got you. I got you. Don't wanna show us off, but you're my all. All that I need. Trying to sugarcoat, but I'm flying so high. I don't even know if I'm coming down. You rock my boat when you hold me so tight. The world just disappears in front of my eyes. I'm telling you why. This ain't no madness. The smoke in the mirrors, our memories, now the sun has come down. Like a river rising way up above. This ain't no sugarcoat.
You're a rebel, getting into trouble. You are kinda like a fire, like a fire, like a fire. Unpredictable, so original. You are never backing down, backing down, backing down. That's what I like about you. So dangerous, I get this rush when I'm with you. I go all in to lose or win. Build things up to knock 'em down. It's the way we keep our high, moving like a hurricane. There will come a time for when we can wash away your sins, settle down, but until then, we're like a hurricane. You're so different, kind of ignorant. You don't care what people say, people say, people say. I'm going crazy for you, baby. Don't know how you're making me feel this way. What can I say? That's what I like about you. So dangerous.
What's up, guys? We're live. Welcome to Wednesday night studio sessions. I'm Shawn. This is my channel. Everything's going to be kind of relaxed. We're just going to hang out and, enjoy each other's community. What we got on deck tonight is DJI OSMO Action. From what I've seen so far, I like it. There's not too much that I don't like, just because it's probably 80% a GoPro Hero 7 with a couple little extra things and some things missing. So I'll be anxious to do a full review once I have it in my hands. But that's what we're going to kind of talk about tonight, because it's the hot topic. It's the freshest news in the tech world. So yeah, we're going to check it out. I know I like black, and so it's really hard to see my presentation. So I might need to put like something white here. But as you can see, there's the GoPro Hero 7 and there's the Osmo Pocket. This is probably the last night you'll see the Osmo Pocket, because I'm going to sell this to get the Osmo Action. Woohoo! All right, so let's see who's in the chat. So we've got Drone Effects with Claude. What's up, man? Looking forward to Friday. Definitely planning on being on your channel on Friday. I don't know if I get much work done when I'm on your channel, but yeah, I'll definitely at least be on for about an hour. Who else we got here? We got Brent Newman. Newman, what's up, man? Thanks for showing up. We got Nacho Rolling. We got Thomas O'Sullivan. I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome back. Who else we got? We got Wrestler Mania. He only has a moment, so hello, Wrestler Mania. Billy Corbin, what's up, man? Welcome to the chat. Yeah, that looks like everybody on deck. So let's see what we got going on in the chat. So Claude asked if I would be there Friday. I already answered that question. Yeah, planning on being there Friday. Wrestler, you only have a moment, so if there's anything you want to talk about tonight while you're still here, feel free to put a topic in the chat. Oh, it'd help if I read the chat. What do you think of the new Osmo Action specs that just came out today? Direct GoPro competition now. Yes, I completely agree with that statement. I feel like both companies have been around long enough to make good products and to make good decisions. GoPro failed when they came out with a drone to compete with DJI. So we will see, proof is in the pudding, if the DJI OSMO Action can change that pattern and actually kill the GoPro. GoPro's been around for a long time, and they've done the same thing for a while. So, not to say that the GoPro Hero 7 is perfect, but they've had a long time to perfect that camera. With that said, DJI OSMO, or DJI, this is their first action camera that they've ever come out with. A lot of people call the Osmo Pocket an action camera, but it is very fragile. So I would not recommend doing any action with the DJI Osmo Pocket. Anything that has movable parts is not something you want to drop, okay? And just the way that they've manufactured the Osmo Pocket with this little dongle thing that you stick into your phone is not meant for action. Even though the internals are very similar, a lot of the same type of software, they use the exact same app on your phone. There's a lot of similarities. But hopefully with the DJI OSMO Action, they have listened to all the YouTubers' complaints about how this thing cannot focus or this thing just decides to start looking somewhere else, or there's a lot of bugs in this even after. Let's see, this came out in December, so 5 months later, there's still a bunch of bugs in this camera. So I'm hoping the DJI OSMO Action, I hope it's ready when I get it in the mail. If it's not ready when I get it in the mail, I'll tell you guys about it. But tech companies nowadays, and I'm in software development, so I understand the business needs versus the development's time, and we've already made promises to the public, so we have a release date, we have to get it out, and let's just put it out, sell it to a whole bunch of people, and then we'll fix all the bugs later. And that's kind of been the trend lately. Like, we're getting products about 70% done, and then we have to wait 6 months for them to finally release things. A good example is the Insta360 I. This camera, as much as they fix the camera with firmware updates, they promised a case that never showed up. Like, some people got some demo versions of it, but there was a waterproof case that never came out, and then even the people that actually got their hands on them, they leaked, and so they had to take them back, and then they just released a new one, like an upgraded version. But if they'd have tested it properly in the beginning, the public never would have had that horrible experience. And they even had like a football mount that you put the camera in, you throw the camera, and that didn't happen either. So this camera came out and you couldn't attach to anything for a couple months, and I think just a month ago you've been able to attach a microphone to it, and even though it uses USB-C, from what I understand, the audio adapter that they finally released for this camera won't even work with the DJI OSMO Action. So I have a bad taste in my mouth for DJI when it comes to cameras. I think they're great at producing drones, and I think they're great at producing gimbals, but every camera that I've purchased the DJI OSMO, the DJI OSMO Plus, and the Osmo Pocket. All three of those cameras failed in so many ways, in my opinion. When I'm used to buying a Canon camera, I hit record, the thing works. A Sony camera, you hit record, the thing works for a half hour or 5 minutes, whenever the overheat limit is. The Panasonic Lumix cameras, beautiful, beautiful footage out of those cameras, but DJI, they're used to making products that work for about 20 minutes, so, or 30 minutes. They're used to making products that you swap out the batteries. They're used to making products that record video from thousands of feet away. They're not used to making cameras that can focus on you when you're talking to it. Even though there's a big green square around your face, why does it still go out of focus if it can recognize where your face is? Little things like that drive me crazy. The DJI OSMO Action, since it mimics what the GoPro does, it will have an infinity focus, so you don't have to worry about it not focusing on you. From what I understand, the crop is still tight, which I don't understand why they do that on an action camera, but it's tight, and if you up the resolution, just like the Canon M50, it crops in and makes it even tighter. And if you stabilize it, it crops in and makes it even tighter. And then if you turn HDR on, it doesn't stabilize itself. So you can either have HDR on a tripod, or you can have stabilized footage. But the whole purpose of the stabilized footage is it crops in, and then so you don't see the corners of the frame moving around when it's stabilizing. But the other difference between this camera and the OSMO Action is this camera corrects the horizon, whereas the Action camera is more of a FPV type camera. So, you know, as you're on your mountain bike and you turn in this way, the horizon is going to turn. Whereas this one, the Osmo Pocket gimbals correct the horizon. So that's, I think, the biggest difference you're going to see with the video quality. So yeah, those are my quick opinions. Now I'm going to read what you guys are saying. So Claude's already ordered his. I'm trying to buy a house. So some of my extra money is tied up in keeping my credit score high and all that stuff. So as soon as we sign the papers and it's official, then I'm just going to blow my credit out of the water. No, I'm probably not going to blow my credit out of the water, but I'm going to spend some money because I've been holding back. So Claude, 349 with refresh 372. Thomas O'Sullivan, first time here, buddy. Saw you on Claude last week. Are you sure this is the first time you've been here? Thomas O'Sullivan, because I remember your name and I remember your icon. Definitely. Unless I've seen you on Ken Heron's chat. We might have chatted on Ken Heron's channel. But I know I've seen your logo before. But if you say this is your first time, I'm not, I'm going to be gentle. It's nice to see that me being on Claude's channel has brought somebody to my chat. That's always nice. I like the community where we kind of just all support each other. That's pretty cool. Nacho, I say the audio adapter for the Pocket will work on the Action. I saw a video today where it was confirmed that they don't work. So DJI is pulling the same kind of tricks that they do where they make things that aren't compatible, so you just buy another one. Reslermania. I use my Osmo Pocket a lot for tight spaces vlogging and for motion lapse shots that I use at the end of most of my travel videos. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I definitely think the Osmo Pocket is perfect for B-roll. Definitely perfect for B-roll because you can take a lot of video and then get some really good shots out of it. The frustrations that I've had on my channel is I've tried to use it as a camera. And, when I'm walking with it, even though it has face tracking on it, it'll just decide to start looking over in that direction. In sunlight, not necessarily in low light conditions, but like when I'm out, taking video in perfect conditions where the sun's out, and it still struggles in those areas. But I have gotten some really good B footage out of it. Just as an A cam, it is not, in my opinion, good enough to be an A cam, just because the focus comes in and out. The tracking is awesome. If I had a camera that tracked me, I would love it. But sometimes it just goes away, and I don't have a real easy way to look at it. And what frustrates me is you have to buy a whole bunch of accessories just to get the thing to work. It should be fully functional out of the box. And all cameras should be able to attach to a tripod. And all tiny cameras that have tiny screens on them should be able to connect wirelessly out of the box. You should not have to buy an extra accessory that adds bulk to it just so you can talk to it with your phone. I mean, this is 2020, people. We had cameras that did that 5 years ago. Come on. All right. I've got both chats. I've got the live feed chat and I have regular chat. So I might get a little confused because I'm old, 43 now. Hair's falling out. Thomas O'Sullivan. As of yet, you can't live stream from it, but may be able to do that in a future update. That's a good possibility. Um, I've had a hard time live streaming from my DJI products. I tried to live. They came out with live streaming on the Spark, and I remember I did a live stream with my Spark, and it took off, and the live stream was over. Just as soon as it had to like fly itself, all of a sudden it just cut the feed. So, um, but I haven't really successfully live fed with my GoPro either. Um, iPhone, iPad, those things work great. Desktop, Mac, PC, those things work great. But all of my little cameras that say you can live feed from them, I get some weird complications. I successfully live fed from my Insta360. What was the name of that camera? Was it just an Insta360? I can't even remember what the name of that camera was. I guess it was the one, the Insta361, and I plugged that into my iPad, and I successfully live fed from that, and I've successfully live fed from the Lenovo Mirage VR180 camera. So there's a good chance it'll work out. I just think DJI has sometimes it takes them a while to catch up on their apps. Like the DJI Go, like that app, it took 8 years worth of nurturing to get it to where it is right now. And then, when they came out with the DJI Mimo app, you'd have thought it would be as good as the Go, but it still struggled. So I think DJI is great at creating products that function, and like Apple, they try to excel past the competition, but sometimes they don't work exactly the way they should. So I need to catch up with you guys. Nacho rolling. It comes today. So Nacho, you're getting one today, or you ordered one today, or it's released today? Because the reason we're talking about it is because it's here. And that's awesome. Mario, sorry I'm late. Was putting down grass seed and watering. Uh-oh. Man, I would be sneezing up a storm. I found out I'm allergic to grass. There's grass all over this country. That's a horrible thing to be allergic to. I'm allergic to grass and dogs. How bad is that? But I'm not allergic to cats, so that's why I have an awesome cat. So Thomas O'Sullivan gets around on a lot of chats, so maybe saw me somewhere else. I honestly don't think been here. Maybe I'm wrong. So Thomas, I used to live stream 2 years ago, and then only 2 people would show up here and there. There's one chat that I got maybe 5 people, and then I was I wanted to focus on what I was good at, as opposed to live stream. And then this year I decided I was going to make live stream a thing on my channel, and so I focused on making my live streams better. So I feel like you've been on a live stream that I did a long time ago, but I don't, it's no big deal. Thanks for coming tonight. So Nacho, I love the Pocket for motion laps. Yes, Pocket's awesome for motion laps. At least the Action will be able to take advantage of years of GoPro accessories. That's one. So, okay. So the 2 things I hated about this camera, I need to put it over here. There, y'all can see it way better over there. So there's 2 things that I hated about this camera when it came out, was the fact that you could not attach it to anything. This is a little $10 adapter that I bought off Amazon. So I do have the actual GoPro, or the actual Osmo Pocket accessory, but this one's way better. And there are 2 things. So it wouldn't attach to anything, nothing. And then we had to wait a month and a half to get this accessory to actually attach it to something. This was not released when this was released. So we all had these cameras that we couldn't, all we could do was handhold them. That's better. And then the other thing was, wait, what was his comment? Motion lap. Oh, so you couldn't attach to anything. And, you know, it had some serious focusing issues for me. Like, and I don't know if it's because I look the way I do, but the camera would not focus on me for any period of time. Like, I talk with my hands, and as soon as I would throw my hands up, all of a sudden it would stop focusing on me. So that was weird. And then you couldn't talk to the camera. You had to like plug your phone in, which was my biggest complaint to Insta360 for a long time. Was they made cameras that put a whole bunch of weight on your little lightning port in your phone, and you'd have your phone, you'd hang like, you know, half a pound off of your tiny little connection, and then after using it, you know, 6 or 7 times, you stretched out your adapter, and then all of a sudden you couldn't charge your phone anymore because it had a stretched out thing. So those are the 3 things I didn't like. So apparently you're going to be able to connect to the OSMO Action with Wi-Fi, but there's no Bluetooth capabilities. So this guy, I need to put it over here. The GoPro Hero 7 connects Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. So what that allows it to do is Bluetooth is a lot faster than Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi connections, you know, take authentication and all that stuff. So what the Bluetooth does is it talks to the camera and says, hey, I want to connect. And then if you've already connected to the camera, then you don't have to do anything. You don't have to put a password in or put the little, you know, 4-number pairing code or anything like that in. But I mean, this camera, this is the 7th edition. So they've had a lot of years to make this camera good. So Nacho says, congrats, Mr. 4K. So I've got over 4,000 subscribers. I think I got 50 subscribers over the last week. So that's exciting. Well, maybe 40. Because I was a little over last week. So super exciting. I don't know why people keep dropping off though. Like I'll gain like 60 subscribers and then like 20 left. So I need to keep the ones that are leaving. I don't know why they're leaving, but maybe there's pressure that I was like, click the bell, and then they did it, and then they didn't like their decision. And we had 8 people, and like now people are just dropping off. We're down to 4 people here. What's up with that? So Wrestler Mania, gotta go, guys. Okay, so Wrestler left. He told me he was going. Nacho rolling. The Venture case was released today. That's another one thing. Those things that I'm talking about. How long ago was the Insta360 One X released? Seriously, how long ago was that camera released? I have a feeling that I had that camera at Thanksgiving, but I don't remember exactly when that camera was released. But it came out a long time ago. They've already come out with another camera since then, and they're just now releasing the Venture case. Those are the decisions that I don't like. Like, it's marketing. These are all the things that we're going to have at launch, and then all of a sudden we don't have them. So Claude's will be here next week. Yeah, I'd said on the website if I order it today that it'll ship in one day, one business day. But I don't have the money right now. I just bought a pair of Beats, and I wish I hadn't bought the pair of Beats, the new AirPods, but they're made by Beats. If I hadn't done that, then I could have purchased it. And if I sell my Osmo Pocket, I might put my Osmo Pocket up for sale tonight, and then, you know, just make it so that I sell it tomorrow, like it sells tomorrow, and then I have the money to go ahead and order my Osmo. Because I mean, I feel like the only reason I really keep the Osmo Pocket around is because it gets me views on YouTube. I really don't like the camera that much. And then um, what's funny is I'll do a video that I like to do, like putting a 360 camera on a drone, and I'll get 40 something views on that video. And then I'll put a video about like some Amazon accessory for a camera that DJI put out that doesn't have any accessories, and all of a sudden I'll get like thousands of views in a day because it just has the word DJI OSMO Pocket in it. So Mario is allergic to cats and dogs. That's why they got a dog. Awesome. I need to catch up with you guys. You guys probably left, and I'm talking to your chat from 10 minutes ago. Data port mount is now my favorite mount for the Osmo Pocket. That's from Nacho. Data port mount. So are you talking about the mount that grabs onto your phone and grabs onto your DJI OSMO Pocket and keeps it from stretching out your mount, or is it that the one that you take the There's the one where you take this dongle out and then you slide the GoPro adapter into that? I think that's the one you're talking about. Yeah, that's a pretty cool idea. But it takes functionality away from your... Sorry. Positive feels. Not your rolling focus issue. You paint a big enough target. I know, right? How does that camera have a hard time focusing me? I would get it if I was like one of those petite little YouTubers that, you know, does makeup videos, but I'm a big old man. And if you've watched some of my focus peaking videos, this beard is great for focus peaking. I need to lock my white balance on my camera. That's messing me up. All right, I'll turn the white balance off. Let's see what... Ooh, that's pretty. All right, I think that's pretty good. We're gonna leave it there. So, all right. Not trolling. Hero 7 is a really nice action camera. I really hate to say it, but it is. I agree with you, Nacho. The Hero 7 is by far my favorite little point and click action camera that you don't really have to think about. You hit the record button. Like, you don't even have to turn the camera on. You can just hit the record button, and within a couple seconds, like, you're up and running, taking B-roll, taking, you know, sticking your camera in tiny places. It's just awesome. So Claude lost 5 subscribers. And apparently he lost me as a subscriber, which isn't true. So I gotta check my feed. Are you guys able to see me? Is the feed breaking up, or are we good? I hope it's good, because I didn't really record tonight. So we'll see what happens. We're 35 minutes in. You know, if the replay's a flop, the replay's a flop. Nacho rolling. They might have been fake accounts. Thomas O'Sullivan, make it 6. So Thomas just left Claude's channel. Yeah, they could have been fake accounts. I did a thing over a year ago where I joined a bunch of Facebook groups for small YouTube channels, and we all kind of watched each other. And even though we weren't really breaking any rules, I feel like that was frowned upon or something like that, because I think a lot of the subscribers that I got during that time was, you know, I subscribed to them the same time they subscribed to me. And we talked about this on Claude's channel. Like, most of the time, whenever I get a notification that someone subscribed to me, I'll look at their channel and see if it's something that I like, and then I'll subscribe to their channel. And it's not like I'm breaking any rules, but I should have the freedom to subscribe to anybody that I want to, but it could be looked at as bad data. Or but what the way I look at it is, the whole point of YouTube from a business standpoint from Google is to make money off of ad revenue that's played on videos that people want to watch. Okay? So just like TV, just like trailers at the movie theater, they're all there to make money. Period. That pays for the entertainment, and so when I put ads on my channel, that pays me to make that makes me want to make more videos, and it gives me some small piece of revenues to help me buy these cameras to show you guys. So in my opinion, it's a win-win for everybody. I don't understand why they're trying to lock down whether it's a real subscriber or not. All that stuff is kind of silly to me. So Nacho put his Osmo Pocket up too. Claude called Thomas a jerk, and he winked at him for unsubscribing. That's me, Claude. It's my middle name. Okay. I'm reading y'all's conversation to each other. Naturally, my one-liners are not as funny 10 minutes later. Awesome. All right, Claude said that the stream's good. I'm getting kind of like a yellow and a red bar over there, so I'm kind of anxious. I mean, I'm not anxious, but, whatever. Thomas O'Sullivan, he's going to go take care. Might see you on Friday, Shawn. That's awesome, Thomas. I will definitely talk to you then. Claude has 3,032 view hours. That's awesome. Maybe I need to do that on my VR channel. Maybe I just need to do a Google Hangout once a week, or you do it every day though. I don't know that I can't commit to that. That's a lot of time. And Claude, what's your work schedule? Do you work, or are you retired? Or I feel like you're a driver or something. You drive for Enterprise? I don't remember what you said. I've talked to so many people in the last couple weeks, but I feel like you have like a flexible work schedule. Brett Newman has 0.00. Nice. I checked on my see if, oh no, I can't get it up. But I checked on my Shawn Ide channel. Actually got like my viewers were up 15%, but it's just because nobody's watched my channel in a long time. But I'm gonna try to get a lot of, well, the Quest and the Rift S get here next week. So I'm going to do like some reviews on these maybe one night this week, and then I'm going to really start ramping up that channel. So I've got to figure out what night. I knew you'd catch that, Nacho. I can get it up. You want proof? No. I don't know where that just went. Nacho, behave. 8-hour streams 3 days a week. And he's a wheelman for Enterprise. I thought you drove for Enterprise. So do you drop cars off to people? Or do you pick people up from places and take them to Enterprise? Like, do you do the shuttle? Like if people are getting their cars worked on and stuff like that. I'm getting my car fixed on Monday. But since I'm State Farm, I have to go through Hertz. So, but, I mean, it's all good. Nacho. He said it. I'm just repeating it. All right. Yep. I knew halfway through saying it that that was going to cause some issues. So yeah. So I think we're going to switch gears, and we're going to just kind of walk through the website that I've got up, that I'm going to get up, that I'm going to bring up. So let's switch on over to the web, the internets. So here we have, this is DJI's website, and I have it up on the Osmo Action. So there's a lot of video animation going on. So hopefully it won't, mess up the stream. But we're just going to kind of talk through this. So on this first little video, you've got, people dancing around it. You've got it in the snow. You've got it underwater. You've got it on a mountain bike or on a dirt bike. So this camera is set up for action, which means it's meant to be dropped. It's meant to take a beating. And then, sorry, I was reading Nacho's chat. Well, I'll get to that in a minute, Nacho. So let's go through here. First off, this is my favorite part. So there is a screen on the front and a screen on the back. From what I understand, you can't use both screens at the same time, which is sad. But it has and the front screen is not touch. That's another thing that drives me crazy, because I think I would use the touch screen on the front more than I would ever use this touch screen on the back. That's me personally, but why are they not both touch screens? So there's that. But something else I like is the lens cap is unscrewable, so you can screw on an ND filter, and I think this was a brilliant choice by DJI, because this camera is meant to take a beating, and that proves that the Osmo Pocket is not meant to take a beating at all. It's a fragile camera because the ND filters are magnetic on the Osmo Pocket, whereas the ND filters on the Osmo Action actually screw on. So you can drop it out of your kayak, or you can, hit a rock with it, and that little magnetic thing's not going to fall off because you can screw it on. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, Claude drove a Maserati yesterday. That's awesome. I want to drive a Maserati. With the screen on the front being so close to the lens, it would be good for recording and framing your shots without you looking out of the frame. That's a great point, Nacho. So I have a Canon M6. Is that right? Yeah, Canon M6, and the flip-up screen. A lot of the traditional small cameras, whenever the screen flips out, it'll flip out to the side. But what I love about my M6 is the screen flips up directly above the lens, so I can look at myself and frame my shot, and it looks like I'm looking at the lens and looking straight at you guys and talking. That's with the not viewfinder, with the screen being right next to the lens. Nacho makes a great point that for vlogging, that's a great placement. And then underneath the words, there's this little vent, and that's a heating, for heat dissipation. So that's pretty neat, but I haven't seen how that works because it's a waterproof camera. And the other thing is the splashes around it show you that it's a waterproof camera. So it has dual screens. It has Rocksteady. Rocksteady is one of my favorite songs by Mark Broussard. So you guys should look that up. It's a great song. But Rocksteady is kind of the same thing as Hyper Smooth. And from what I understand, it's the exact same technology that was in the DJI Spark. So you guys know the DJI Spark doesn't have a 3-axis gimbal, it only has a 2-axis gimbal. And it uses the same technology, Rocksteady, to work out the 3rd axis. It has 4K HDR video, but the 4K HDR video is not available with the stabilization. Okay, so you can use HDR if you don't move the camera, or you can use Rocksteady if you don't have HDR. Okay, 8 times slow motion. That's going to be in your lower resolutions. From what I understand, it has 60 frames per second in 4K. Oh, and that's the next thing. 4K 60 frames per second. Awesome. And it's waterproof to 11 meters. So that's about, what is that, 33 feet? So, you know, that's a pretty deep swimming pool, 33 feet. But you can't go diving with it. They're going to make a case so you can go diving with it. But here's an example. So this screen on the front is going to do the same thing that the screen does on the Osmo Pocket, minus being able to touch it and do things with it. But there's an option in there to do full frame, which basically puts the center of the shot full frame, or you can actually do a widescreen option, which letterboxes it. So there's that. Yeah, Nacho Rolling says the 18% crop for stabilization. This thing, so if you recorded at 1080p, you would have a really wide angle, but not even as wide as the 4K GoPro, but it's fairly wide. And then it crops in when it gets to 4K, and then it crops in even further when it stabilizes. So that's interesting. And I know, like with the Canon M50, everybody complained about 4K cropping in. So I'll be anxious to see how many people complain about this 4K cropping in, because it's the same thing. The sensor can only do so much. It's a tiny sensor, and you know, in order to get 4K out of that sensor, you've got to crop out a little bit, crop in. Brett Newman, I wonder how close it focuses. I have a macro lens for my GoPro for filming birds up close. I see Polar Pro already has ND filters. Yeah, so there's a screw-on lens. I'll be anxious to see if this is a proprietary screw. Knowing DJI, it's probably some proprietary screw. But hopefully they're going to make wide-angle lenses for this. I see a huge potential with this screw-on lens cover. And I know, like, all the Asian manufacturers on Amazon are already thinking up things to do with this screw-on accessory. So Claude's is already shipped. How about that, guys? So so even though they released it today, they did not release it into stores because you can't find it anywhere in the store, but apparently it's shipping from their site. Claude, when did you order yours? It had to have been today. I don't think that it was available yesterday. But like, what time did you order it today? So whether you want to record, let's make this a better shot there. Live the action. Whether you want to record your world from behind the lens or be the star of the show, Osmo Action's dual screens allow you to capture it all with one touch of a button. A vivid front screen lets you frame yourself effortlessly. Wow, I can't say that. Effortlessly in any setting, while the back screen delivers crystal clear, hyper-responsive display. This durable, versatile action camera is jam-packed with advanced technology that lets you spend less time worrying about your equipment and more time living the action. So, DJI has released something that lets you spend less time worrying about your equipment. Um, so that's awesome, because you know, a lot of the cameras you buy from DJI, they're really fiddly. So hopefully this is a click of a button camera and it's a move in the right direction for DJI. I hope that's true. Like even the drones, you have to calibrate them. They've had drones where you have to touch to focus or else you'd be out of focus. Um, you know, the controller, even though it's compact, you have to unfold it and stick your phone in these weird places. And anyway, so hopefully this is a camera that you can just click the button and go. That's what I love. I love cameras that aren't fiddly, especially when my kids are doing something crazy. You know, I don't have to spend a minute and a half getting the shot ready before I can start filming. I could just hit the record button and catch what I want to catch. So that's pretty awesome. So, not your rolling. DJI sure knows how to support the aftermarket companies. Yes, they do. I've probably dropped at least $200 into accessories to show you guys. I think some of them I get the money back from the manufacturer once I put like an Amazon review. But man, I've got the DJI OSMO Pocket. I probably have more accessories than I have for any other camera I own. Even the ones that I are truly my A cameras. So Claude ordered his about 10 a.m. this morning, and his shipped. Let's see, he's Eastern, so that was 9 o'clock here. So in less than 12 hours, his shipped out, which is awesome. Brett Newman, does it have the GoPro type mount that will fit all my existing accessories? We will get to that in a minute. Rocksteady. So here's an example of the stabilization. And from what I saw, there was a guy that did a review. It was really good. They were from a foreign country. They had an accent, but his review, he put it on a mountain bike, and he said that the Rocksteady stabilization was better than the GoPro Hyper Smooth, which the Hyper Smooth was a game changer. So if it's better than that, let's replay it. That footage is really, really stable. But I want you guys to look at the horizon. See how the horizon, the horizon kind of moves with the camera. So that's the difference between the Osmo Pocket. The Osmo Pocket would correct that horizon because it's more of a gimbal drone type shot. Here's the HDR. I'm not sure how they got this shot because you can't stabilize it. So they probably put that on the Osmo Mobile, which I'm planning on. This is the plan, guys. I'm planning on selling my Osmo Pocket, getting the OSMO Action, and getting a cheap Osmo Mobile off Craigslist or something. This is, I guess, the waterproof capabilities. Creative shooting modes. Oh, it's got some creative shooting modes. And as you can see, here's a close-up view, Brent, of the GoPro mount. Now, I'm not sure if it's exactly the same specs as the GoPro mount. I feel like they'd be stupid not to, but it looks to me like it fits perfectly. And this is Hyper Smooth. I'm not sure what they call it. It says time shooting modes. But this is, we've seen a lot of cameras come out with this capabilities over the last year. I think Rilo 360 camera started, and then Insta360 came out with this. Ended up on the GoPro, and then now it's on the Osmo Action. So you've got 8x slow-mo. So there's an 8x slow-mo shot. That's pretty cool. Custom exposure settings. Oh, that's neat. So you can take pictures of the stars a little bit. Time lapse. I'm always a big fan of time lapse. And then time shooting mode. All right, let's look at the chat. So, okay. I'm all caught up on the chat. Action OS. So it's got a pretty sweet operating system. The only con that I saw on one of the reviews was the text that they chose was blue on their operating system, so it was really hard to see in bright light. But there's a quick shot button, which is a quick mode to change. So it's like your mode button on your GoPro. Snapshot. All right, so let's see what we got here going on. Yep, it's got a good gallery. It's got voice control. GoPro Hero 7. It's built for impact, so it's rugged. 11 meters, waterproof, 3 layers, safe from the elements. There's kind of a breakdown of the lens. It's pretty cool. Negative 10 degrees Celsius. So 0 is freezing. So I don't know what negative 10 degrees Celsius equates to here. But it can work in pretty cold conditions. And then here's the cooling that I was talking about, guys. So it looks like it's waterproof, and then there's like this piece of metal that probably conducts all the heat, and then the heat goes out these holes in the front. So that's probably how it remains waterproof, but it also has heat dissipation. So it's like the radiator method. So in typical DJI fashion, we have some great accessories. They got this nice little twist mount. That's pretty cool. So Nacho says that's 14 degrees Fahrenheit. Awesome. They got a floating handle. And they have the app. For what I understand, all the app really does is lets you look at some of your files, but you can't import your files at the same resolution that you recorded at. But so there it is, guys, $349. So everybody's saying this is going to kill GoPro because it's $50 cheaper. But let's go over to GoPro. GoPro Hero Black is $399. Insanely smooth video. 2-day shippings. Money back guarantee. Free SD card. So there you go. So even though the GoPro Hero 7 is more expensive, you get a free SD card. And you can trade in your old camera to get, well, I mean, they have all right. I think I'm done with that. You guys came here to see me, right? So that's what I got. Brett Newman's getting skips and pauses, and I apologize for that. I forgot to reset my internet before we started the chat, and since I had such an issue when I did that last minute a couple weeks ago, I decided we're gonna have choppy Shawn tonight. So it's 8 o'clock. So we've talked about what I said we were going to talk about. Is there anything anybody else wants to talk about? Oh, did you guys notice there's new like super chat stickers? Did you guys see that? I'm not asking for money or tips or anything like that, but if you click the super chat button, there's a super chat which lets you send me up to $500 worth of tips. So that's kind of neat. And then, but there's also super stickers. They added super stickers. You can fist bump me for $3. Isn't that funny? Nacho says sounds like Chinese food. Choppy Sean. My lady. See if y'all remember this. This is a deep cut from Saturday Night Live. My lady, she went downtown. She bought some broccoli. She brought it home. She's chopping broccoli. Actually, I don't remember how it even goes. She's chopping broccoli. That was Dana Carvey from Saturday Night Live a long time ago. But I don't understand. I guess that's a pair. For $50, you can put that sticker on my chat. For $20, you can thank me for being me. They've got video game. Get wrecked. That's funny. So anyway, I just noticed that tonight. It was like, hey, guess what? We got a new feature. You can put stickers on your chat. So that's kind of interesting. So Brent doesn't see the super stickers. That's weird. Woo! Oh, Brent found a super sticker. That's kind of fun. I didn't think it would be like green all the way across though, or like blue. Actually, that's Shawn Ide Studio color. I like it. It's like cyan with a little bit of kick. Nacho thanked me for being me without clicking on the sticker. He found the loophole in the system. So Brent, I think you've told me before, but what is your logo? Is that a dog or a possum? Is it a possum playing dead? I know it's an upside down animal, so it looks like it's like rolled over dead. Yeah, that sticker is a pair, isn't it? That's funny. I got a pair. It's in the fridge. So Brent, what's the significance of the possum? Why is that your logo? Eat more possum. Do you eat possum? I've never eaten possum. I have a funny story about a possum. When I was a kid, it was second grade. We had a Halloween party, and there was a piñata. And so in that piñata, once the piñata broke, each kid got to go grab something, and then we all went back. And then we got to grab something else, and then we went back. And I grabbed these little rubber bouncy balls. Oh, by the way, Britt, thank you so much for the sticker. I really appreciate it. But so there were all these little bouncy balls, right? And so I got like maybe 8, 10 possum stickers. Or whoa, where did that come from? Bouncy balls. And so I closed all the doors in the garage, and I took that handful of bouncy balls and I threw them on the garage floor, and they just bounced all around the garage. And we used to have this huge chest freezer, and behind the freezer we had like a window, but it had like a shelf on it. And so one of my balls went one of the balls that I threw went behind the freezer. And so I jumped, and I was short. I was a small kid, I was second grade. So I had to run and jump up onto the freezer, and I'd kind of land on my belly and slide across the freezer. Well, apparently, and we also had cats, so we would leave the garage door cracked about this high so that our cats could go in and out. And apparently a possum came in one night and the possum went up and just was sleeping on that ledge on that window. So when I jumped up on the freezer and slid across it, I was about this far away from the possum's face, and the possum went with his huge mouth. It just went, it opened up its mouth, and it scared the mess out of me. And so my dad came, and he took a bucket and a lid and got the possum in the bucket. We took it out to the woods and let it go. But man, and then there was another time where we all went to a cabin for the summer and met my cousins and my family. And I'd gone fishing, and I'd left a worm on my hook. And, you know, we all put our rods up against the cabin before we went in. And we came out the next day, and there was a baby possum on my hook. So a possum had tried to eat the worm that was on my hook, and it got hooked. So I caught a possum with a fishing pole. So Eat More Possum is your geocaching handle. That's cool. I did a little bit of geocaching. My favorite geocaching was, I don't know if you guys know who Minnie Pearl is, but she's buried in the graveyard in Franklin. And so I geocached, or I found a geocache, and it was actually happened to be her gravesite, which was pretty cool. Nacho Rolling, thanks, man. Thank you for your pair. That's awesome. It's a fun little pear. I think maybe I should change my logo to a pear. That's awesome. Geocaching is fun. I actually wish I had time to do more geocaching. I'm really interested in like I think they're bugs or something like that like travel. There's like digital things that you can geocache, and then it has like a GPS in it, or you scan it or something like that, or type the code into the website, and then you can see how far your geocache goes. I think those things are pretty cool. Something else they do around here is they do these rocks, and I think they're called like 615 rocks, which is our zip code or our area code in Nashville. And when you find one of these rocks, you take a picture of it and put it on the Facebook page, and then you put that rock somewhere else, and that's kind of neat. But yeah, so we've got 3 people on here. So I know Brent's here and Nacho's here, and we're just hanging out. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I got some stickers tonight. I think I'm going to show off that functionality every week. No. I think we're friends. Brent, are we friends on Facebook and Nacho? I feel like I've had a lot of conversations with Brent and Nacho, but I don't know if they were on Facebook or on here. But I have... Let's see if I can get it up. Oh, it's not going to focus. I need to put it over here. I have Shawn Ide Studios stickers. So, and Claude's here. So those are the 3 faithful: Brent Newman and Nacho Rolling and Claude. So, thanks for the stickers, guys. And I think officially I just decided that's what I'm going to do. If you guys give me a sticker, I'm going to give you a sticker. So I'm going to send you guys a sticker. So I will be contacting you outside of this to get your mailing address, and I will mail you a sticker. Cool. Okay, so HomeKit. I completely forgot about you, Nacho. I don't have the boxes with me. I purchased back. I forget when I got them. I think maybe March. There was a sale at Best Buy, and I purchased there was a kit that had I'll show that. Jackass is an animal. So, so the home kit that I purchased at Best Buy, and they had a sale like $50 off. And I got 3 lights, a remote control, like a Bluetooth remote control, and the base station. And then since I got such a good deal on it, it was cheaper to buy that kit again than to buy more light bulbs. So I just bought that kit twice. So I have 6 light bulbs, 2 bases, but I only really need 1 base, and then 2 remote controls. So that's what I got. And I'm thinking that, so update on the house. The tentative closing date is July 1st. So I might do, like, if we get the internet hooked up, I might go over there and just do a live stream, you know, put a table in there and do the live stream from my iPad or something, you know, do kind of a mobile live stream in the first night of the new house. And I don't know exactly how I'm going to set it up yet. I'm really digging the grays with, you know, the color splashes on them. So I might, I'm thinking about painting one wall like a charcoal color. I wanted to paint it like my Shawn Ide Studios dark blue, but that's going to be weird when I shine light on it. So I'm thinking about recreating that color with light as opposed to painting it that color. But who knows what I'll do. The reason I've done all this is because of, you know, just my tight space, and, you know, this blanket was a cheap way of getting a solid background that was big. Okay, so Brett and I are hooked up on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. Nacho, yeah, I know I met you, Nacho, on Facebook, kind of with the Insta360 stuff. Oh, cool. Yeah, I'd love to have one of those, Brett. That'd be awesome. Nacho rolling. I put it on my bike next to the Jackass. I bought a light from Lifix on Amazon. Love it. And it was cheaper. Yeah. Yeah, I've definitely seen some cheaper LED lights. I just happened to find this set on sale, and I love all the stuff that you can do in the app for the Philips Hue. I know they're really expensive, but and the other thing that I'm getting a little frustrated with is the Philips Hue lights are the first ones that I've ever really gotten a flicker from. So, you know, there's certain things you have to do with your camera to keep yourself from getting flickers. And you notice flicker a lot more like on your iPhone whenever you do slow motion at like a ballpark or something that has, like, you know, large gymnasium type lights. These lights have, I guess, like a slow flicker rate. Like, you can even see it right now in my live stream. There's a flicker back there. The Logitech Brio does a good job of compensating for the flicker, but there's like a, you know, scan lines back there. 616 Drones, what's up? Welcome to the chat. Man, it's 8:15. We're gonna keep going because someone else showed up, and so that's awesome. Yeah, I've seen some of those videos, Nacho. I wish they would all get along. I wish there was one app to run them all. There's another app you can buy for the Philips Hues that is like a disco. So I thought about doing something like that. And I bought this like box cube unit So I might try to, and it has these kind of diffused white doors. Um, excuse me, a little gassy. But so I was thinking about making like a large kind of equalizer and putting the lights out or what lights in it or whatever. Um, so 616 drones, we talked about, kind of just talked about my pair and the uh, the OSMO Action that was released today, and um, I think it's going to be okay. I don't know that it's going to be the end all of action cameras. I think GoPro has more experience. Um, I think it's going to be the same thing that happened when the Karma came out. The Karma came out, and DJI just kind of blew the Karma out of the water because DJI had more experience in drones than GoPro did. I have a feeling that it's going to be the opposite in here, where DJI is trying to go after GoPro's market, and GoPro pretty much has the action camera market solid. But DJI has a lot of fans, and it's evident in my YouTube channel. Like, I can put a video out about a DJI product, and everybody, like, I'll get thousands of views, and I'll put out a video about drones, which is the point of my channel, and I'll get like 43 views or whatever. I mean, eventually I'll get a bunch of views, but man, you type the word DJI in your metadata, and you'll just viewers for days. So much cheaper and no hub. Oh, HomeKit. That's cool. So Apple HomeKit. Interesting. I'll have to play around with that. I wonder if my Philips Hue base station hooks up to HomeKit. I haven't even tried that. 616, hit that like button. I like the way you're thinking. Nacho's talking about his pair now. Speaking of pair, I was on Claude's channel. I'm starting to do Google Hangouts on Claude's channel every Friday around lunchtime, and he has the Grumpy Vlogger on there. And it wasn't last week, but it was the week before. Grumpy Vlogger had it was like a ball sack that his kids gave him. So it was like this furry little thing. But so since we're talking about pairs, I thought that I'd bring that up. 616 drones. Yeah, my wallet doesn't like it for the price. Yeah, I feel like DJI is kind of like Mercedes-Benz or BMW. Like, it's not much better than every other product, but just because it's the brand, like, they get to charge more because people just like them. And, they put out products that are a little bit more premium than the cheap products that you buy. And then, their drones have kind of surpassed everybody else's. Their drones are great, but all the other products they put out are kind of, they're good ideas, but, they just don't, if you're going to make a camera, there's some benchmarks that you have to hit. And DJI kind of forgets that sometimes. Like putting a stupid nut in your dang camera so you can put it on a tripod. Like, that's not, well, we couldn't, we'd hit our profit margin and we couldn't fit that in. Bull crap. You can put a dang nut in your camera. Wishing Logitech would have an action camera. Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, this Logitech Brio is a really, really good webcam. It says 4K, but I still can't get 4K out of it. Maybe it's because I'm on a Mac, but for this live stream, it does a great job. I used to to live stream from a Panasonic Lumix G7, and I've got an Elgato Cam Link, and just did all this kind of crazy thing to get my live stream good. And then YouTube would only stream it at 1080, and my camera, like my webcam, isn't even taking up the full screen, so I didn't need 4K worth of video. So this Logitech Brio does a great job for what I'm doing here. It's not the best to record with, but it's a great little camera to live stream with. I'd like to get the Mimo. Is it a Mimo? Mevo? It's like a tiny little, it's like a 4K kind of 180 camera that you can crop in little pieces, so it'll kind of run a show for you. I might get that when I get the new place, because I'll actually have a studio to look at. But as far as this studio, this area right here is the only presentable area. Everything else is a mess, just because I don't have any room. Nacho, I don't see the point of replacing my Hero 7 with it. Does this make GoPro Harley Davidson? Yeah. Well, GoPro's like tough. Yeah, I guess Harley Davidson. That's a good example. Claude says hi to 616. I'm thinking about doing at some point, and this probably won't be until I get into the new house, because I'll have fiber, so my internet will be kind of rock solid. But I really like the format that Claude has on his channel, where he invites people and people can talk to each other. So I don't know that I'm going to do it all the time, but maybe once a month we'll have some people that I trust to come on here and do the live feed with me. So maybe get Nacho on here if he can behave, and get Brent on here, and it'd be fun to talk to you guys and for real, along with the people in the chat, because it's a lot of fun talking on Claude's channel on Fridays, just hanging out and talking about cool stuff. Sometimes I can't speak to the conversation because I'm not a pilot, or whatever. Sometimes we're talking about stuff that I don't know anything about, but it's fun to just be on there and talk to people, hang out. Nacho, I trust you. I'll give you one shot, and I have the kick him out button. So if you start flirting with my wife, or start talking about my cashews, my tenders. So wow, we've gone for an hour and a half. That's pretty good. I feel like I still have energy. I don't know. Am I getting slow, guys? I feel like I was loud and energetic at the beginning of this. Any of you guys watch The Arrow or The Flash or Supergirl or any of that? Or am I just like the nerd over here that watches comic book shows? I thought the finale of The Flash was pretty good. I thought the finale of The Arrow was kind of a snore fest. But they're trying to phase out the Arrow anyway. But Claude says 616 is cool. So he's trustworthy, Claude. Have you considered running your feed on a second device so you can keep up with the chat? What do you mean, Nacho? So my video, so no matter what I do, my video is going to be lagging from the chat, because when I go live, it's about maybe like 30 seconds before I see my live actually start going. Whereas the chat is real time. So you guys are actually chatting at different times than I'm speaking. If I took the chat off of my live stream so you guys couldn't read it, then I could do that. But because I've got a pop-out window that I'm putting into OBS, I don't think that would work out. Claude uses 2 screens when he does his live streams. Yeah, I try to conserve all the internet just because I have slow internet here at the apartment. I try to conserve all of that internet just for the feed because I see it going like the, it says that I've dropped 91,000 frames during this live feed. So I'm already using 44% of my CPU. Sometimes it's green, sometimes it's red. Then over here I have YouTube going on the live dashboard, and it says it's pretty healthy stream. I've got 75 playbacks. I don't know what that means. 75 playbacks, is that people coming and going like 75 times? That seems excessive for like 3 concurrent users all the time. But yeah, I'm definitely going to get better at, I don't even know where to look. Let me look there. I'm definitely going to get better, Nacho, at live streams, but I feel like I have a pretty good system going where I can just come in here at 6 and then be ready by 7. Once I have an office that I can close the door and, focus on something, then it might get a little bit better. But right now I'm by the back door. I'm kind of in a corner right now. Uploading test action cam video now. What? Claude, you don't have the camera yet. What are you talking about? Is it action camera footage from your GoPro or like a Yi or something like that? Or you need to come in 5 minutes early so sound down is the proper start. Well, so Nacho, you're saying I need to start the countdown at 6:55 so that by time 7 happens, I'm here. I used to do that, but like nobody showed up. So it's kind of like the 5-minute countdown on other streams that are successful that I go to. They run the countdown at the beginning, and all the people chat at the beginning. And so by the time the show starts, we've got a good quorum going. But I can try that. I can come here 5 minutes early and set that up. But I am also going to do things my way. I'm not going to let my viewers conform me. No, I hear what you're saying, Nacho. I respect what you say. I have a lot of comments on my channel. Now that I've got 4,000 subscribers, I've been doing this for over 2 years now. Well, almost 2 years. I get a lot of people telling me what to do. And at the end of the day, I just kind of want to do what I want to do. There's people like saying, I tried to do a video without saying the word and that is near impossible for me. I have said for 43 years. And trying to break that habit is really, really hard. So you either like me for who I am, or you go find some millennial that's got his act together. Because I'm too old to figure all that stuff out at this point. What I offer to YouTube, the YouTube community, is my age, my wisdom, my experience as a creative, as a photographer, as a videographer. So that's what I offer. And just, I'm sexy to look at. So that's where it is. I I don't remember who it was, but they put a comment on. So I did a video a couple weeks ago at the Embassy Suites Hotel. I did it in the. I pick random hotels around where I work, just so I can get like a place to shoot a video during the day. And I did a video in the hotel, and there's a waterfall going on in the background. And so, and I should have mentioned there was a waterfall, because then everybody would have been like, oh, well, that actually sounds pretty good, because I was shooting it through the Rode Video Mic Pro, and in my opinion, the audio sounded pretty good compared to what it really sounded like in real life. But there's a waterfall going on in the background, and after I read his comment, he was like, the audio is horrible or something like that. And I went back and watched the video, and it kind of sounds like white noise, the waterfall does. So it sounds like there's, just some really bad connection, oxidized pots on the microphone. And so I responded to him. He said, your audio is horrible. And I responded to him, good thing I'm easy on the eyes. And that's how I flip those negative comments. But Claude says, get me a beer. What? I missed what we're talking about. Claude's got a G. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll buy you a beer, Claude. Come on down. So yeah, I've got a beard and I've got a good singing voice. I grew up in Nashville. So we've gone on for over an hour and a half. And as an old man, I'm getting pretty tired. So, oh, Claude's telling me what to do. He's telling me to get him a beer. I can tell you where you can get your beer. I'll bring a beer to your live feed. Tell you what, on Friday, I'll just get wasted on your channel. No, I won't. I don't think I've ever been wasted, to be honest. I've tried to get wasted, I think, at my brother's wedding, but it didn't work. And Claude, I'm not going to do 8 hours. If I do 8 hours, it's probably going to be me setting up my new studio and just putting a camera in the corner and going live. Why do I keep looking up there? I'm looking at my ring light. It's got this little 1/4-20 on it, and for some reason I'm thinking that's a camera, but it's not. You guys are over there. I need a big like arrow that says, look here. This is where the lens is. Edith. That's awesome. All right, guys. So I feel like this is a oh yeah. So everybody, if you're not subscribed to Drone Effects with Claude, Claude does he does a live stream every day. Or no, he said 3 days a week. Is that what you said earlier? But if you subscribe to his channel and click on the bell for notifications, you'll be able to watch his Google Hangouts. He has a Google Hangout, and he just a lot of people show up and talk. Some people are on camera, some people are just voice, but excuse me. But it's fun to hang out and talk, and dadgum, I need to turn this thing off and go burp. But yeah, go hang out with his hang out on his channel and watch some guys talk about stuff. It's pretty cool. Brent Newman says, put a camera up there and have a multi-camera studio. So Brent Newman is subscribed to Def WC, Nacho, and 616. Drone Effects with Claude. Yeah, I'll send you a link, 616. Or actually, are you talking about Claude's channel? If you right click on his etc. and right click and go to his channel on a different tab, you can go subscribe to his channel, and then I think you already go to his channel. I'm exhausted, guys. I think we're gonna quit this. I'm getting loopy. I think I'm gonna go. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna go play a video game. I just got Rage 2, so I think I'm gonna go play that. But yeah. So thanks for the stickers, guys. Brent and Nacho. They're the highest tipper. I don't know what I'm doing. Y'all have a wonderful night. Hopefully I'll get a video on my channel this week. I've been busy trying to buy a house. So I've been trying to buy a house and I've been doing a lot of extra side work. So my YouTube channel has kind of suffered. I want to consistently do this every week. There's only one day that I might not be able to do it when I'm at camp, but I don't know that I'll be at camp on a Wednesday. So, but I might even do a live stream from camp. I don't know. But hope you guys have a wonderful night. Hope you guys have a wonderful week. So, and with Nacho's comment, we're going to sign off. You guys have a wonderful night. Peace out, guys.